Just a video of me creating the graph that you will need for your lab report. I'm going to make a new sheets and graphs. Okay. The first graph, if we look at our actual rubric, the first graph is a scatter plot within Google Sheets, grams of calcium versus enthalpy in kilojoules. Okay. Grams of calcium is our independent variable here, so I'm going to put that in the first column, and then I'm just going to copy these over. Okay, so I'm highlighting to copy, put them down there, and then I'm going to type them here just so that they're vertical. And then I can delete that. Okay, then back here. So grams of calcium versus enthalpy in kilojoules. So enthalpy in kilojoules is right here. Copying that over. And I'm going to actually make an edit to that so it doesn't have the instructions there. Just like before, I want to make my life easy, so I'm just copying this over, and then I'm going to negative 1.53, and then I'm just going to type. Okay. To make this graph, I then highlight all of those cells, insert chart, and I have a scatter plot. Okay. I look back, and it also is asking for proper axis labels with units, a trend line, a title, and a key. Okay, so I have my title, I have labels with units. I do not have a trend line, so I'm going to come over here. Axis. I'm going to kind of poke around until I find it. I think it's under series, trend line. Okay. Oops. Legend. Okay, top. That adds a key. And then I'm finished with that graph. Okay. Kind of move that over here, and then I can get started on my next graph. So for my next graph, I need moles of calcium versus enthalpy of reaction, and those are both here. So I have my moles of calcium. I'm just going to copy this over, and then I have my enthalpy of reaction here. I'm just going to copy this over. These numbers are all just fake numbers, okay? So don't try to use these numbers. They are not real. They do not make sense. Okay, just like before, I'm going to edit this title so that it doesn't have the instructions, okay? And then I'm just going to copy these numbers over. Whoops, I don't want to do that because those are all 3 cells, so I'm just going to type them in. 0.01, 0.0075, negative 253.24, and I'm just kind of, again, copying these over. I can delete those cells. I don't need them anymore. And then I'm going to highlight this, insert chart, and again, it automatically makes me my my chart. You can see my title looks a little bit weird, so I'm going to make an adjustment to that just so that that is all on one line. Okay, so I can now see everything, because you see it before I couldn't see everything, so that wouldn't have worked. Also, if you notice, I can't see everything on this either, and I think I can actually fix that through this cell a little bit easier. I'm just going to double click it and just make sure that that's all in the same line. Oops. Hold on. Just going to delete the chart and remake it. So the problem with this was that it was not at the top. So let's just make sure that both of these are the same, all the same different, all the same formatting. Okay, and now I see that I have units in both places. I have my entire title, although I'm still going to edit this just to do that. Just because sometimes when you move a graph from Google Sheets into something else, it moves the different, it moves the labels a little bit. So I just want to really make sure that that is featured there. Okay, I still need my trend line. I have my trend line. I need a legend, top. Okay. So enthalpy of reaction, kilojoules per mole. I have moles of calcium down here. I have you can see with both of these charts that I have a grid showing. That means that both of my axes are being treated as numbers, okay, and not being read as text. You want to always make sure that you only have numbers in these different columns, okay? But that's how you're going to make your graphs.